Hello and welcome to Gapeys Garden. I'm in Western Washington, Zone 8B, and we're just starting to see some tomatoes ripening. So I thought I would take you on a little tour to show you what the earliest varieties that we have in the garden this season are. And spoiler alert, they are all cherry tomatoes. But we do have tomatoes set now on all of our varieties. In the last video that I posted, there were quite a few that we didn't have any set yet, but we're getting some pretty decent sized ones, but only the cherry tomatoes have started ripening. So here's a look at our cherry tomato bed. All of our cherry tomatoes are in this raised bed, and just about all of them have reached the top of our Texas tomato cages. This is probably the shortest one, and it is the first one to ripen. So this one is the honeycomb, and it's an F1 hybrid. It's an orange, very similar to sun gold. I think sun gold is much sweeter though. I've only harvested a few off of those, but you could see there is one that's ready to harvest right there. And then we've also got, it's mostly the orange ones that have ripened. So let's go over to the other end. There's a couple more on this side that have ripened. So this one here is Santiam Sunrise, and I have not grown any of these varieties before, so they're all new to me. And I was very disappointed with how this one tasted. We've got two here. I'm hoping maybe the taste will get better on some of the older fruit, but the first one I had, I did not care for the flavor at all. And then we've got this one here. It's another orange variety. Actually, I don't think I've harvested any off of this, but I do see some that are ripening here, and it's a really beautiful color. So it's orange and it's got a little bit of red striping on it there. I don't know if you could see that, but that's a really pretty variety. Let's see what it is. Let's see, this one is called Tropical Sunset. So a really pretty one. You can even see a little bit of striping when it's still green. So these are a little bit of a larger tomato than the other ones that we looked at. And also this one here, the Santiam Sunrise, I've been getting a lot of yellowing leaves. I've cut all the bottom leaves off, but a lot of the leaves are starting to turn a bit yellow, and I'm not sure why. It's the only variety that seems to be doing that. And on the other side of the bed, we have our micro dwarf tomatoes, and I've harvested a few of those. The first one to ripen was this Ditmarscher, and this one is a red variety, but unfortunately I don't have any currently ripe to show you, but they are a really nice tomato. I like the flavor of this one. I'd definitely grow that one again. And then we've also got this one here, which has several ripe ones. This is, we'll go ahead and harvest that one. This one is called Laura number 5. Yeah, Laura number 5. I've not grown this one before either, or any of these micro dwarfs. It seems fairly productive, but it is a very, very tiny plant. But I like the shape of these, really pretty. I haven't tried it yet, so I'm not sure about the flavor. Some of the other micro dwarfs we have is Emerald Flame. This one is a green variety. This is probably the least productive of my micro dwarfs. There's only a few tomatoes on there, and for some reason the leaves on this one are starting to get a little brown. So I don't know if that's early blight or something else, but it's not looking great. And then this one seems to be getting eaten by some bugs. The leaves are kind of holy. Our best looking one is this one over here. Unfortunately, we don't have any ripe ones on that, but this one is called, let's see, Patio Choice. And this is a much, much larger micro dwarf than the other three. And it's pretty loaded with fruit, but nothing ripe on that one yet. Let's go take a look at some of the other cherry tomatoes we have in this bed, because I've got some pretty interesting shaped ones here. This one is called Mira. It's like a kind of a pear-shaped one, and I don't know if it's kind of a large cherry, I guess. I've never grown this one, but it is interesting looking. Nothing ripe on this one yet. And I did notice a few tomatoes have a little bit of blossom end rot on these, and that seems pretty common with shaped tomatoes like that. And this one here is called Marchenfee, and it's also a kind of elongated cherry tomato, and it's got some purpling on the tomatoes, what they call antho coloring, and I can't wait for this one to ripen. It's really pretty. Nothing ripe yet, unfortunately, but it is pretty loaded with tomatoes, so we should get a pretty good harvest. Then this one here is called Karma Purple. This is another one that's a little bit shorter than the others. It's just barely reaching the top of the cage, and it has some kind of mini beefsteak looking tomatoes. So those should be ripening to, I think, a dark red color, but nothing ripening yet. And this one also has the potato leaf shaped tomato leaves. So that is one of the few that I'm growing this year with this shaped leaf. And this one is called Ems. I always forget how to pronounce it. Emslandtraub, I think is how you say it. It's a strange word. But this one has kind of typical cherry average size tomatoes. Nothing ripe on that one. It's pretty decent size and has a lot of tomatoes set. And one thing, I don't know if I mentioned it in my last video, but I'm really not cutting off suckers on my tomatoes this year. I've cut off a few, but not nearly as many as I normally do. So I'm kind of testing it out this year, and we'll see how they do, if I get more tomatoes or if I have any problems with blight, which is an issue kind of later in the year. But it is important to prune at least the bottom leaves so they're not touching the ground. So I have done that. But for the most part, I haven't been pruning the suckers. Like there's a sucker right here. I have not pruned it. You can see another one there. So I'm just kind of letting them go this year. And this tomato here is called BGH 186. And this one has some kind of typical, little bit more flattened shaped cherry tomatoes on it and not yet ripe. Over here we've got 4 beefsteak tomatoes, and they're doing really well. I'm surprised how big they are already. We've got some Kiev evening here. We've got a nice cluster of tomatoes there and another nice cluster back there. I haven't seen any blossom end rot on any of the beefsteaks, which is really good. This one is called Your Smile, and it's one of those tomatoes that's got the purple coloring on it. Some pretty nice clusters down there. Both of these are kind of on the shorter end. None of the beefsteaks have actually reached the top of the cage yet. And then this one here has the largest tomatoes. That's the biggest one there. And this one is called Marie. And that should be ripening soon, hopefully. My tag disappeared on this one, but I'm pretty sure this one is my Kurtovo Koner, which I believe is a Russian variety. But it's got a few nice sets of tomatoes coming out on those. Here we have our paste tomatoes, and I've got 4 of those, and all of them have reached the top of our tomato cage. And unfortunately, I am having some blossom end rot issues on a couple of these, especially the orange banana. So I've been kind of cutting off all of the blossom end rot tomatoes before they get too big. So I don't have very many to show you, but I do have a cluster back here. Let's see if we can see that. See, the bottom of those are all brown, so I'm going to be cutting off almost this whole cluster here. I cut off a few more clusters the other day. We'll see if it continues or not. Last year I had a similar problem, and almost all of the tomatoes from beginning to end of the paste tomatoes were full of blossom end rot, but I'm hoping maybe it's sometimes just the earlier set fruit that gets the blossom end rot. So we'll have to wait and see if that continues. Now this one here is called Sheboygan, and I did have a few with blossom end rot that I cut off, but I've also got a few good-sized ones in here that don't have any issue so far. So usually by this point they start getting it. So I'm hopeful that maybe these ones are safe, and hopefully we won't see too much more on that one. And then I've got a couple of varieties here that are more blossom end rot resistant. And this one here is a hybrid called Pomodoro Squisito. And I think I got this one from Johnny's Seeds, if I remember correctly. But this one has some kind of long shaped tomatoes, and I haven't seen any blossom end rot issues at all on that one. And we've got quite a few tomatoes set on this one. So I'm looking forward to trying that and making some sauce out of it. And then this one here is called 10 Fingers of Naples. And these I think are a little bit smaller variety, but they're also got an elongated kind of finger shaped, and no blossom end rot issues so far on that one. And I don't think this one is a hybrid, but I think we might be okay on at least these two, so I'll hopefully be able to get some tomato sauce out of these. I have two different varieties of tomatoes in hanging baskets. This is one I grow every year for the past several years called Shimo Fury. It's got variegated leaves that I just really love, and the tomatoes on this are super, super sweet. Probably the sweetest tomato that I grow. And I haven't harvested any off of it, but we do have one tomato that is just starting to get some color there. So these turn a really bright red color, and it is one of my favorites. It's also super productive. You can see all these flowers all over this plant. My other hanging basket tomato is called Referral de Bretagne, and I don't know if I pronounced that right, but anyway, this one is a little bigger than my other hanging basket tomato, and it is looking like it's going to be super productive as well. There's tons of flowers on it. Nothing that's starting to ripen, but the shape on these is a little bit different. They're more kind of fingerling shaped, and they've got kind of some striping, so it'll be interesting to see how those ripen. Hopefully we'll get some soon. I ran out of space in the raised bed, so I've got one tomato here. This is a dwarf tomato called Rebel Starfighter Bravado, and this is more large sized tomato, and it's got quite a few set here. We've got one there, and it's got a little bit of striping on it. I don't see any starting to ripen yet, but hopefully we will soon. I also ran out of Texas tomato cages, so this is in a normal tomato cage, but it's a lot bigger than the ones that I normally see, and since it's a dwarf tomato, I think it should be okay in one of these. I wouldn't try using one of these on one of the indeterminates for sure. They are just worthless for that. Our last two tomatoes are in our Climapod greenhouse, and they are by far the largest of all the tomatoes. They are well above our Texas tomato cages, and I have pruned these a little bit because they were just getting very out of control. This one here on the right is one that I grow every season called Fortunia, and it's a very large paste tomato. It's kind of higher moisture than normal paste tomato, but it is super productive, and we've got several tomatoes set on it, quite a few really big ones. You can see that there. Got nice big one there, another one right next to it, but we've got quite a few tomatoes hiding all over in it, so it's more kind of a ox heart shaped variety. Now the other one we have in here is what was supposed to be a San Marzano, and it's obviously not. So I did get this from a seed company, and I won't mention which one because I can't really remember, but I probably have it written down somewhere. But for one thing, San Marzanos do not have this shaped leaf. So this is the other variety that I'm growing this year that has the potato shaped leaf, and I knew right away that this isn't what it was. So I decided to grow it in the greenhouse and see just what happens with it. And as you can see, it's some sort of beefsteak. We've got a decent sized tomato there, another one there. It is pretty productive. We've got a lot of tomatoes set in here. I haven't seen any starting to ripen. I think that one might be the biggest one we have so far, but there's a lot of tomatoes in here. So hopefully they taste good is all I can say. Well, since we harvested one of these Laura number 5s, I thought I would give it a try for the first time on video. So let's see how it tastes. It has a little bit of a chewy skin, but the flavor is really good. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the skin, but I do like the flavor. If you have any favorite early season tomato varieties, let me know what those are. I'd be interested in giving them a try, because our season is pretty short here in Western Washington. Our cold nights that we get kind of delays ripening, I think. And then our season is usually cut short with rains in the fall and tomato blight. So let me know. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.